In this exercise tutorial, I'm going to be taking you through how to use the Technogym low row machine. Now, row machines, there's often a lot of similarities between all the brands, but one of the things you might notice on this machine is it only has one handle. And often there's two handle grips on these machines. So let me just explain. The low row handle, which we've got here, is to target the lats, so the side of your back. And then often we have one just off to the side where the palms are facing down and we row back. That's more for the back of the shoulder, so your rear deltoid. So I'm going to be showing you one handle on this one. I'll do a separate video for the rear deltoid machine. So firstly, what I want to do is I want to set up this pad. Now, I actually never use this pad with clients, and it's a little bit of a contentious topic because if I set this up perfectly for me, you'll notice that there's one vital flaw. So let me go through it. Now, in terms of the seat height, what I'm looking for is a 90-degree angle at my knee. So here, I would want my seat to be a little bit lower, so one lower. I'm going to place my hand here. This allows me to be able to use something to get up out of the machine should I need to, or to grab onto something when I lower the seat height. You'll notice I've got this here. I could put my feet on like so, or alternatively, I can have my feet on the floor. So if you're using this and you're coming into a nice position where you're upright, which is generally where people would start, one vital flaw for me is now I can't actually get to those handles. So even if I come really far forward in the seat and bring myself into a position that I can now get into it, you'll notice that I'm at a slight incline, so I'm slightly leaning forwards. That's one of the drawbacks of these. They're not made for absolutely everybody. You're gonna have problems when you use these in terms of setup. You won't be able to do it perfectly. If you're a little bit taller than me or have a little bit more wingspan, you'll be further back and therefore you'll still have the same problem on a lot of these machines. So I always instruct clients to actually be leaning a little bit forwards. I then place my hands on the middle of the row. From here, I set my shoulders back, and what that simply means is I'm bringing my shoulders back, but not my shoulder blades. I pull from my elbows, so I'm thinking about my elbows pulling back. My shoulder blades come apart at this stage in the exercise. That's called shoulder blade protraction, and I squeeze and retract them as hard as possible, bringing the shoulder blades apart, allowing my shoulders to come forwards, and squeezing forcefully on the way back. Again, thinking about the movement coming from the elbows when I'm coming back. In terms of breathing, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in on the way towards me, and as I bring the weight back, breathing out. Now you'll notice again for me, quite awkward for me to get into that position, so I don't use this pad. And one of the reasons I don't use it with clients is because I actually want to build up their lower back and core strength. So what I often do is tell them to lighten the weight, get themselves forwards so they can get the weight, and then they can get into a nice upright position, core braced, and they're now using their core and lower back because their weight's not on that pad, and they can do exactly the same cues, trying to keep in that stable position whilst also working more muscles. Once you're done, slowly pop the weight back and you have done your low row machine. You would repeat that for your desired amount of sets and repetitions, and that is how to use a Technogym low row.